I don't know if you know this about me, but let me be clear about something. I'm a nerd. You probably couldn't tell because I just made a video about ranting some video games I played last year, and yeah, I like them a lot. I also like playing Dungeons and Dragons, so, you know, whatever. I like adventures and exploration, and feeling rewarded, especially when I uncover a mystery or defeat the big bad wizard. It feels different when you do it yourself. Sure, reading books and watching movies of characters doing these things are really cool and awesome, but there's a nice full, oh, I did this myself feeling that oozes my endorphins. That's the interactivity of how video games work. It's a good feeling. It's nice. Indiana Jones movies are cool and great. They got the mysteries and the bad guys. You get to see Harrison Ford figuring out the clues and punching Nazis. They're amazing movies, but a more realized sense for the viewer is when you do that shit yourself. And that's a big reason why games like Uncharted and Tomb Raider are successful. They more or less share the same DNA of the Indiana Jones movies, except the key difference is you're the one that figures out the secrets, and you're the one that are fighting the bad guys. And while those games are really cool, they're still generally guided. Video games are made to be played and beaten. You don't have to be a world-renowned archaeologist to really solve the mystery, or a trained weapons specialist. You just need to know the controls and the rules of the game, and have a decent amount of perception. Puzzles in the games are made to be solved. Maybe sometimes not easily, but definitely easier than finding Jesus' chalice in real life. The difficulty is generally accessible to a degree. And then along comes a game like Tunic, which really tests your patience and ability to do everything yourself. You have to figure out what the controls are, where to go, what's up, what's down, and how to press the B button. Yeah, it's got hints of what to do, but that's only when you figure out the context of it. You have to seek it out yourself. It's a game that makes a gameplay out of figuring out how to play the game and then how to beat it. And Tunic is such a sweet and cute game. The obvious inspiration of Tunic is the Legend of Zelda games, like almost any other game out there, specifically the old school 2D Zelda games. You got a cute little protagonist who doesn't say anything, dungeons, unique bosses, puzzles, a grappling hook, a light and dark world, and the classic find 3 pieces of a geometric shape to open or restore the balance or whatever. The art style is incredibly dense and beautiful. The fox being your stand-in, much like how Link is in the Zelda games, is adorable as hell. The level design is pretty smart since there's always a secret path or cave behind a waterfall or a crevice leading to a treasure. The action-adventure formula is familiar and it feels tight, but of course not unique. The combat is pretty basic in a chaotic neutral way. You have a sword and shield combo like in any fantasy game and a nice dodge roll that if you master it, it can be super efficient in your encounters. The chaotic part is a side gear and tools you can use like the bombs, a magic grappling hook, and a magical staff that acts like a bow and arrow. Equip these how you like and you'll find a playstyle that works for you for sure. But the wombo draw of Tunic is the manual. This manual is your bread and butter to playing the real game. The concept of dropping players into a world and not explaining a single thing is not new, but Tunic remixes the idea by incorporating that cool little book that you would find in a Super Nintendo or Sega Saturn box. That manual is your main key to playing. Before, a lot of these manuals were required readings to help guide or get through certain sections of the games, but in this one, it's in the game itself. And like any adventure game, you'll find these items and tools that help you progress. With this one, you still explore to find these things, but you also find these pages which puts together the manual. The pages are scattered throughout the levels, but when they are found, they're usually seen as a sign of progression. There was a pretty amazing moment where I found a specific page of the book at a specific part of the game, and it clicked in my head about what the story was and the direction it was heading into, and the reveal worked so well. Even though the manual is a tool to be used as a progression for the game, it is a game too. I know I'm a broken record, but Tunic is brimmed with secrets. There's a language you won't understand, ciphers and codes, chests that look seemingly impossible to get to, and mysterious doors and passages that are sprinkled throughout the overworld. The manual is the guide to solving these little riddles, as well as strategizing your encounters with enemies and bosses. The game itself isn't huge on a surface level. It's pretty self-contained world that doesn't branch off with conspiracies or groundbreaking revelations like how other games or even movies and books have, which means the rewards aren't really as tantalizing as Assassin's Creed's usage of historical settings and figures, but the fun is given into the challenge of deciphering the mystery. The puzzles are so complex, I even use pen and paper just to map out the solution. One of the most underrated successes of Tunic is how it avoids the frustrations of puzzle solving. For me, my struggle had more to do with its Souls-like combat with bosses rather than the actual mysteries. That's an achievement. The game tries to inspire the player by way of imagination through its consistent gameplay language. As much as the game is filled with obscure puzzles, it still guides the player to the solution in a super effective way. I know a comparison is probably to Dark Souls with the needing to read item description or paying attention to obscure references or details to figure out the random puzzle or secret, but I think it's more akin to finding a piece of a treasure map, and as you collect more and more to complete that big picture, you start to realize there's actually a lot more going on than meets the eye. The beauty of Tunic is figuring out the clues yourself. It's that sound when you find the secret, when you stumble onto a hidden pathway, and when you unlock the mysterious door by deciphering the code. It's a challenging game, but not impossible or too obscure. If these puzzles are your jam, this game will more than satisfy the detective, logical, New York Times sleuth in you. I haven't found all the secrets, and I think it actually might be impossible to do it. The amount of puzzles and riddles to solve is pretty insane, and you can probably go deeper and deeper into the foxhole. But with what I discovered and accomplished, I was happy, and that's all I want from this cute and sweet game.
I don't even know if you know this about me, but let me tell you, I'm a nerd. Probably couldn't tell, because I'm Eric Prince.
Yeah, that's the only thing I